Let's bring in our ESPN legal analyst, Roger Cossack. Roger, we just spoke a half an hour ago, and you pretty much thought it was going to go this way. Just not enough evidence to go forward in this investigation and make it a case. What do you make of these findings today?
Well, I think there's two things that we take away from this. One is just what you said, that the prosecutor feels that he doesn't have enough evidence to go ahead and file this case and take it in front of a jury, and that's the test. Unless you believe you can get a conviction, you don't arrest and bring somebody before a trial. And so there's not enough evidence, and I think that's an important issue to take away from this. And the other part of it is the suggestion that the alleged victim in this case wasn't telling the truth. Her story was that she was very intoxicated, very drunk that night, and apparently what we hear is there's toxicology reports that indicate that there wasn't that presence of alcohol. If I'm a prosecutor, that's going to give me a reason to think twice about this. Not only do I not have a lot of evidence, but the other part of it is I may have a alleged victim in this case who isn't telling the truth. Where do I go with that? So I think there's two parts of this that we have to take away.
Is there a chance this case could be reopened in the future?
Yes. Yes. There is not, we all know the phrase double jeopardy. Well, double jeopardy means you can't be tried twice for the same event. Remember, he's not, what we know now is he's not going to be arrested, he's not going to be tried. But if sometime in the future, before the statute of limitations for the state of Florida, and I don't have that off the top of my head, but I suggest to you that it's going to be at least 2 or 3 or maybe even 4 years, if during that time new evidence came forward that they didn't have today, that they changed their mind and believed they could get a conviction, yes, they could come forward to it. But will that happen? We don't know, and there's always going to be that problem, at least as we understand now, of the victim who claimed that she was drunk without evidence to back that up.
And as you explained to us earlier this hour, the further away you get from the alleged incident, the harder it is to gather evidence. And that's one of the sticking points in this whole investigation, is that this all went on almost literally a year ago to the day. How difficult is it for a state attorney like Willie Meggs to try to gather evidence so many months later?
It becomes more and more difficult because what you're looking for, besides the physical evidence, the toxicology report, of course, whether or not she had alcohol, or those things, is you're looking for contemporaries who may have been in the area, may have seen something that could add to this case. And so the further away you get, people's memories fade, interest begins to lag. I mean, people just lose interest in it, and it becomes more and more difficult to go ahead. I mean, the real question that has yet to be answered, and I hope will be answered in this case, is why it took a year for this case to become an active investigation. That's I think the only question that's left to be answered, and I hope that the prosecutor will answer that in his conference.